Alright, so I want to talk about my everyday carry, my EDC knife of choice. Whether you're a male or female, I really feel strongly that carrying, whether it be a small little Swiss Army knife or any type of knife, is really handy. Because you never know when you're going to have to open up a package, maybe you get a little thread on your shirt you got to cut, or they just come in really handy. I find that friends that don't carry a knife, who start carrying a knife, realize how much they actually use it, and then when they forget their knife at home, they're like, oh man, I forgot my knife, I could really use it right now. So a little bit of background. I like to give some background about myself and the product and how I ended up with a certain product. I used to collect custom knives like crazy. Everything from the run-of-the-mill Sebenzas from Chris Reeves to Hinderers to very small volume knife makers in South Africa, and I got out of collecting knives and but still really want to carry a knife. So I wanted to pick a knife that was, for one, made in America, two, had a design that I really liked, and three, had a blade steel that I really liked. And that's how I ended up with Zero Tolerance. So the first box that this checks is being a design that I really like. When I was really big into custom knives, I liked the Rick Hinderer XM knives. And I like them for two main reasons. One, I like the flipper, and two, I like the blade shape. It was that simple. So with this ZT-0566, as it is called, you're basically getting a Hinderer design in a production knife. And that leads me to box number two. It is a it is a production knife that is also made in America. And it's also made just a few hours south of me in Oregon, right outside of Portland. So I really like that. I like the fact that I'm supporting an American-made product when it comes to a knife. And I really love this packaging. It says "A Real Beast" on this side, and then on this side it says "Built Like a Tank," which I think is just a fun packaging. And then proudly overbuilt in the USA, and also proudly overbuilt with their address, which I think is awesome. So it's just a nice little box, really I think stands out. So let's get right into the knife, and we'll talk about the third reason why I chose this knife, which is the blade steel and also the grip texture. So this is how your knife will come. I've been carrying this knife for a while now, for about a year, but I just put it back in the box. You also get some literature with your ZT knife, pretty generic, tip-up carry instructions, things like that, how a flipper works, maintenance, telling you not to cut yourself by mistake, because that's really easy. So it comes in this bubble wrap mailer, which is nice. And it also comes with one of those little things to keep moisture out. So this is the knife folded. I really love this G10 grip. It's a fine G10, but it's also really grippy. So if your hands get muddy, bloody, or sweaty, you're not going to slip off the handle. The other thing I actually like about it that a lot of people don't like is the fact that the frame lock is steel. I like that because it makes the knife heavier, and I know a lot of people want their knives to be lighter and to be made of titanium, but I actually like the fact that it's steel. I think it makes the knife a little bit heavier, which I like because it makes me remember it, and I just think it's durable. Yes, titanium's durable, but I like steel things. The action on it is super nice. I went with just the standard Stonewash blade. This is Elmax steel. So there's a lot of hating on Elmax on the forums and on the internet and on some YouTube reviews, but I have found Elmax steel to hold a very, very nice edge, and it's really easy to sharpen. So I just enjoy the Elmax steel. You get that nice Hinderer blade shape, and the reason I like flippers is because you get a nice index point right there, and then you tend on these Hinderer designs to get some nice jimping on the blade. So it goes all the way up there, and it's just super fantastic. The lockup on the ZT-0566 or the 566 ZT, whatever the reference number is, the model number, is very nice. I've rarely seen any of these ZTs with late lockup or anything, and the blade on all the ones at the shop where I bought this all had perfectly centered blades. So that tells me that the quality control at ZT is very nice, and I'd expect nothing less from an American-made product, to be honest. The clip comes for tip up carry. I carry this in my right front pocket, tip up, and that's the way I like to carry my blade so I can pull it out. And in comparison to other knives at this price point, say like an Emerson CQ-C7, I think the Mini would be comparable price. I just prefer the flipper to the Wave feature. Benchmade makes some good products in this price range. I think some blue box products. I like the Axis lock, but I honestly like frame locks more. So that's why I went with this knife. I think that everyone should have a good EDC knife. One thing I want to touch on, if the price point of this knife, it's about $150 I think on Blade HQ for just the standard stonewash knife like this. If that's a little bit too steep for a blade that you're going to beat on, I understand to some people that might just be a little bit too much money for them to spend on a knife that they're going to tear open packaging with and get all gunked up and stuff. I strongly recommend the Kershaw Cryo. You can get them on Amazon for about 30 bucks, and you will get a G10 grip, the exact same blade shape, same design. It's still a Hindera design. I actually think it's the same patent. It's a little bit smaller. The knife is made in China, but if you get one of those Kershaw Cryos, you will not be disappointed. Now, if you're on the opposite end of the spectrum and you think the ZT that I have here is a little bit too run-of-the-mill and you are into custom knives, I strongly recommend contacting Rick Hinderer and getting one of his XM models like the XM18 or something, because they are fantastic and there is so much that he can do, you know, with that custom knife for you, and you will love it. But for me, this is the best of all worlds. You get that beautiful Hinderer design, you get ZT quality and customer service, you get an edge that holds its sharpness, frame lock. It's everything I'm looking for in a knife. So I hope this video helps anyone who's looking to pick up their first or second or 20th EDC knife and they've been thinking about this, because this is one that I would buy many more or buy these as gifts for friends because it's just awesome.